Now we are going to take two examples in this lesson to illustrate the concept of circle geometry 2, angles in a circle 1b. That is, we are still continuing on angles at center and circumference. So let's get started with the first example. It says here, in the diagram, in the given figure, O is the center of the circle through points L, M, and N. If M angle LM is equals to 74 degrees and M angle LL is equals to 39 degrees, calculate L angle ON. And this is an SSCE June 1988 question. Now let us look at the diagram. If you check out the diagram, what we are requested to look for is L angle ON. That is L angle ON. But before we do that, if you check this triangle LMN, you realize that two of the angles are given. So the very first thing we need to do is to get this third angle that is here. That is the angle at M, and that's going to be the first thing we are going to do. Now, how do we get this angle that is here? We add these two angles together and subtract the result from 180, which is the sum of angles in a triangle. So let's get started with that. So I'm going to make this very short. I'll write here that our angle M would become 180 degree minus the sum of 74 and what 39 all in degree. Okay, so what we have here is what? Angles in a triangle. Alright, so if we go on to solve this, we are going to have 180 degree minus, if we add these two together, here we have 3, then we have 113 degree. Now in subtracting, we are going to have 7 here and then 6, that is 67 degree, which means that our angle LMN will become what? 67 degrees. So that's what we are going to do. So now let's answer this question. Our quest is to look for angle LON. That means there is an angle at the center here, okay? But how do we get that angle? What we are going to do is to draw a line from here, which represents the radius. We'll draw a line from here to the center, and that is the radius. And then we also do the same thing here. So you can see that the angle we're actually looking for is this angle that is here. So this angle which we've gotten before, that is angle 67, is on the circumference, while the one we have here is at the center. So is there a relationship between both of them? Let's find out. The way we can find out is to draw a straight line through the center, which is the diameter, parallel to the chord here. That is the line joining the ends of the radius. Okay, so now what do we do? You can see here that since the angle at the center lies on a different side of the diameter as the angle at the circumference, it means that we can apply the law in this case. So we can come here to say the angle at center, which is represented by L angle LO, L angle ON, that is L angle ON, will become 2 times the angle at circumference, which is 67. And the condition for this is what? Angle at center. Okay, from here now, what do we do? If we multiply out here, we're going to have 4, then 12 plus 1 is 13. So the required angle we are looking for, therefore, will be what? 34 degree. I believe you are understanding this concept. Now let's quickly take a second example. This second example is kind of similar to the first with a little twist to it. It says, in the given figure, find the lettered angles. Now, how do we get the lettered angles here? It's very simple. Let us observe. Once again, you can see that there is a given triangle which is triangle what? PRS. Okay, and 2 of the angles are given. So we are going to get the third angle just like as we did in example 1. So in getting the third angle, we say in triangle PRS, that's what we are working on, angle S will give us 180 degree minus, we are going to add these 2 angles together, then subtract the result from the sum of angles in a triangle, and that's why we are having 180 minus what? Minus 81 plus 53, all in degree. So that is what? Angles in a triangle. Now if we do this, we are going to have 180 degree minus, add up this, we have 4 degree here, then 8 plus 5 will give us 13. And if we do this subtraction here, we are going to have 6 at this point here, then we have 46 degree. So that is the angle at what? At S. And that angle at S represents what? H. You can see that H is the angle subtended by what? This particular what? This side, that this letter that you are seeing here, S, is what has this angle H. Alright, so we can come to say therefore our H is what? 46 degree. So now what do we do at this point again? Now we've gotten this value here as what? 46 degree. So how do we get this angle, these remaining angles? Well, you can see this dot at the center. That means we are going to do some construction like we did in the first example. So we're going to draw the radii to the center, okay, such that we are going to have the radius at the center at this point. Now why are we doing this? We are doing this so that if we know this side here, this angle that is here, we can get the reflex at this point. Then from the reflex we can calculate what? This angle at the circumference that is here. So the first thing we are going to do is to get this angle here, which is angle POR. So the angle at the center there, we can say therefore angle POR will become 2 times the angle we've gotten at the circumference here. Now how do we know we are going to apply the law? Because if you draw your diameter, okay, you will see that this angle here is on a different side of the diameter as what we have here. So that's why we're applying the angle at center. So we say angle POR times what? 46 degree, that is angle at center. And if you do this multiplication, you are going to have 92 degree. Okay, so which means that this angle that is here is 92 degree. Now what do we do with this angle? As I said before, we are going to get the reflex of angle POR. So here we'll now take our reflex of angle POR. To get the reflex of angle POR, we subtract this angle 3 from 360. We subtract 92 from 360, which is angle at the point. And if you do this subtraction, you are going to have 8 at this point. Then here will be 5, which will give us 6. Then we have 268 degree. Now that means if we come over to this place here, we are going to have 268 degree at the reflex angle. Now you can see here that this angle at the center, which is the reflex angle, is we are going to apply the law by saying the angle at center here is twice what we have at E. So we can say therefore our reflex of angle POR will become 2 times E, which is what? Angle at center. Now our POR is gotten as 268 degree. Then we are going to at this point divide both sides by 2, and as we do that division, we're going to have the value for E to become 2. We go into 268 to give us 134 degree. So let's come up here and put the value there. So which means here we have 134 degrees. So we are having 134 degree at this point. Now if you check, let's demarcate this. Alright, now if you check what we have here, if you observe triangle PQR, you will see that triangle PQR is what? Isosceles. What does that mean? It means that the two sides PQ and QR are equal, and that makes the base angles also to be what? Equal. So G is equal to what? To F. Alright, so that's what we are going to indicate here. We'll say in isosceles triangle PQR. Now what do we do with this isosceles triangle PQR? Remember that we are going to take the sum of angles in a triangle, so we can say G plus F plus E. E is 134 degree, and that will give us what? 180 degrees. So at this point we are going to have G plus F to equals 180 minus 134, and if we do that subtraction, on the left we have G plus F to equal, here we got 6 degree, then we have 4, that is going to give us 46 degree. Now at this point we are going to pause a little while and come back to this diagram. Recall that I told us that one of the properties of an isosceles triangle is that the base angles are equal, so which means that our G is equals to what? Our what? F, that is base angles, okay, of isosceles what? Triangle. Okay, so that is the base angles. Now what does this mean? It means that if G is equals to F and I put it here, I will replace our G with F, so we have F plus F to give us 46, and if we add two F's together, it's going to give us 2F, then equals to 46. Then at this point what do? We divide both sides by 2, and if we divide both sides by 2, we are going to have the value for F to become 23 degree. So what does this mean? It means therefore that since G is equals to F, it means that G will equals to F, and the value for F is also is going to be the same value for what? For G. So we have G equals to F equals to what? 23 degree. So that is how we come to the end of this lesson. I hope you've learned something, and please, if you do enjoy this lesson, do like this video and also subscribe if you have not done so. Now I'm going to wrap up this lesson by giving you this assignment. Please do endeavor to do this assignment, so you can see displayed on the screen. Try your hands on them, and I believe you will do well at them. I will see you in my next lesson.